who hate men have great fathers, brothers, and men.
The bar is high also for who gets to be around us.
Yeah, so we do think there's like great men. Obviously you found one, so did Ashley. Yeah. But like, how do you live at that sort of like intersection of the two?
I mean, I think it's a lot simpler than people think. I think people overcomplicate it. It's just, I'm not talking about you. Amen. But it doesn't change the inherent fact that men are evil. That is true. Like man as a whole is evil. Like just as
women have aborted 1/8 of the world population, and she's saying that men are evil. 1 out of 8 people dead because of women. You're like lucky to be born nowadays, because the most unsafe place you can be in your entire life is your mother's womb. That's the most unsafe place. Women, man.
As an entity, a general idea, men have inflicted violence and oppression on the world in ways that are irreparable.
Female queens were more likely to wage war. The only difference is when women had power, women were very evil with it. But the difference is that women weren't smart enough to get power. That was the challenge.
Like, it's okay if we say that out loud. It's okay if we say that men are inherently evil. It's like, it's not all men, but for some reason, always a man. Every time something terrible happens, always a man, like 99% of the time. So I feel like it's a lot simpler.
We just don't count female evil. That's how this narrative gets around, is we don't, something's in my eye. We like don't count it when it's a woman doing something bad. It like almost, it doesn't count.
Than people may think. I don't hate my man. I hate most men. And for me, I think given what men have done to me personally, to people I love. And
what have they done? Tell me. What have they done?
The world as a whole. If they all start guilty and have to work their way to innocent, that's not really a big deal to me. I feel very like convicted in that. It's very like, if you're not awful, prove it. Yeah. Quit talking about it and fucking do it. Because the men who complain that they really hate hearing like, oh, what about all men? Oh, all men, all men. A lot of this, not a lot of action.
Well, I feel the same way, I think, when people talk about...
I mean, why do they have to prove themselves to a fat chick? I mean, if you're going to say that, at least be hot. You know what I mean? It's like you have one job as a podcaster, one job. Not be fat. By the way, guys, we're 25 subscribers away from 2 million. If you want to subscribe, feel free. You know, you don't have to, but that button's right there. Hit the like. If you can't do that, feel free.
About white women who voted a certain way or have certain beliefs. And it's like, I want to be the best white woman I can be. But when you talk about those white women, it is not me.
It's me. Yeah, me. Yep. It's me.
It's okay. Those beliefs, so I'm not offended by it. Exactly. The same way like a good man is not offended by the I hate men rhetoric. They're like, that doesn't apply to me.
It's a very hit dogs holler kind of thing for me. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. That's how I feel. When people talk about like, and what's something I said at, I'm a straight.
Men invent 80% of the world's stuff. They run like 90% of the economy. Women have no idea how much easier men make their lives. But the problem is there's so much incentive because women make 80% of consumer buying decisions. For men to sell to women, that they're going to keep solving our problems for us. I don't really see a revenge fantasy coming. I mean, eventually we get too old and ugly, but they're going to keep inventing technology to put that off as long as possible. They're going to keep inventing technology for women to have kids in their 40s, and a lot won't, but enough will. It'll sell hope. That's what I see as the future. Sorry.
Straight woman, right? I'm a straight cis woman. When they talk about straight cis women, when trans people talk about them, how they can be very harmful towards trans women, it doesn't hit me because I know I'm not one of those. So when you're talking really loud and you're getting very upset at what I said, what did I?
Yeah, so basically you can let yourself go and get a cute guy. Yeah, she did. And that's why I get more black pilled every year. Seriously, every year I get more and more black pilled.
I say that upset you. And why? That's a question you should be unpacking in therapy. That's not a...
Oh my gosh, we're 21 away. Guys, we're so close. I've been stuck at 1.9 million for a year and a half because they really tried to ruin my life. You know, one of these days, I might just do a show on all of the ways women have tried to ruin my life and how they actually made me more sexist. Not all, but they actually over time made me more sexist.
a question, you should be writing hate in my comments. Like, and also the men who argue with me about that, or even women, it's very rare that it's women, but anyone who argues with
21 away
me about that, that's so harmful to say. I hate all men. That's so harmful to say. Every time they say that to me, if I really were to dig in, that person sucks ass every single time, 100% of the time, all the time. That person's awful. That person is awful 100% of the time, all the time. So like,
does she think she's great? Like, this is the audacity of women.
What do you call it at that point? A pattern.
I think some of it is internalized.
Oh my gosh, we're almost 15 away. I'll do a happy dance if we hit 2 million.
Like you talk about,
yeah.
You know, women, listen, I think that like there's great men in the
racism,
world,
all the things.
Yeah, all those things. And you are definitely one of the more outspoken people that I've like come across in terms of your book. You call people out by name. You do it on Instagram and TikTok. And I mean, you really stand up for like women's bodies and LGBTQ rights. And I think a lot of people want to feel more empowered to do that. And I mean, people say, I remember this girl came up to me one night, I was at Ashley's comedy show, and she was like, I could never do what you girls do, but like, thank you for doing it. Like it was somebody who had a podcast, and she was like, how do you feel brave enough to talk about politics and things like that? And I'm like, but that's what we've dedicated our lives to. So I guess I'm curious for you, like, how do you feel that bravery?
Seems like you've always been this way.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
That's kind of how I feel. I just been like this.
Yeah.
But like for people that aren't, like, I think there's people that are like, I want to feel like I can say something and be outspoken. So like, you were born a certain way. Like, how can other people like feel like that?
I get that.
Oh my gosh, 11 more. I'm rounding. 11 more subscribers.
Question a lot too. Like, how do
It'll make it even better because this crazy bitch should help me get there. Thanks, Drew.
Stand up for myself. How do I handle hate or criticism or whatever?
I can't stand when influencers talk about handling hate and the criticism. You know, to be fair, okay, it is tough. Like, it's different the first time it happened. I didn't really, and I think one of these days, because I'm a lot more grounded now. My boyfriend grounds me. I won't lie to you guys. But at the time, I didn't really know how to handle, like, there's 3-hour videos on me on the internet, guys. And it's not like I committed a crime. You know, I just said my opinion, and they might not like it, but for me to act like any sort of victim when I get to talk for a living is just so insufferable as a human. I mean, you guys do the real jobs out there. You guys are the ones paving the roads, building the building. I mean, there's men that probably watch my channel that have 10, 12-hour like construction jobs outside. And for me to say, oh, I can't handle comments. That's why I think blue collar, they tend to be the most grounded, but I'll continue.
The way that I do. I liked.
Oh my gosh. 8 more. 8 more.
To tell people all the time, I know that I am the exception to the rule. Cause like for a while I lived at a very like no fear. Like I had no fear as a child and a teen, and that's not a good thing. It is okay to have a healthy dose of fear, especially to protect yourself. So I know not everyone is like me. What I encourage people who are not like me, if they're trying to learn how to become more confident in their decisions and how they speak up for themselves, whatever it may be, I always encourage them to start small. A lot of times when people are very passive.
5 more. 5 more.
And they let things happen a lot. Things like if they get your coffee order wrong, if they say your name wrong, you're just like, it's all right. That's where it starts. It starts at little things like that. If you start standing up for yourself and advocating for yourself in little ways like that, you start to build your own confidence because you're like, I mattered.
Do you know what? Women, and I'm gonna, for the 2 women that watch me, I'm gonna tell you the things that will actually build your confidence up. And actually, not this bullshit that they tell you on the internet. When you have a problem, something you're insecure about, and you can do 2 things. 1, accept that you're a flawed person, and that this is just, you know, it's, for example, it used to really bother me. I was messy, right? You know, it's just something I struggle with. But when I just started saying, you know what, I am messy, and no one could really call me that. And then I started learning skills to help me in life. That even if somebody like nags at me or whatever. It's like the feeling you get when you're improving on something that you're insecure about. Nobody can take that away from you. And it gives you a different type of confidence. It's the same thing with, for me, eating habits, like going to the gym, losing weight. You might not be as thin as you want to be, but when you know you're actually taking steps to fix something you're insecure about, for me personally, and then at some point overcome it, for me, that's how I have always felt. That's how I've always improved my confidence. Not just this like majestical BS that they want to